Welcome to Bears in Exile. Today is Thursday, February 16th, and this is the market overview looking at the Dow SPX VIX TNA UUP FXE GLD SLV XOI XLF GE and the Nasdaq. So, the against all odds, or maybe I shouldn't even say that, the Bears completely lost it today, and essentially the worst case scenario for them occurred. Uh, Dow rising 123 points to the upside. We were saying last night that we loved action of what was happening, and it certainly looked like, from an indicator perspective, that everything was pointing down, and it was finally time for a correction, and completely reversed today. Absolutely terrible. Still have the 14-day RSI moving average ticking down, still up high, and everything else ticking on up, with the exception of the MACD, which went sideways, but everything else ticked on up, and of course, not the 14-day RSI moving average. Terrible. We were looking for a cross of the middle Bollinger Band line above the short-term moving averages, and they just bounced away. And we did note last night that although we loved the action, we did not close below the short-term moving averages, all of them, and that we would need that. Of course, that did not occur today, so that was just a terrible rejection. It gets worse when you look at SPX, because it made a new high today. Oof. It's not much more bullish than a new high. 14-day ticking down, and everything including the 14-day RSI moving average ticking up. Oof. Slap in the face to bears everywhere. But it is what it is, and it is bullish engulfing on SPX. Matter of fact, what was it on the Dow? I didn't even bother to... Yeah, it's bullish engulfing on the Dow too. The Nasdaq, this one has been leading everything, and bullish engulfing on the Nasdaq. Oof. 14-day RSI moving average finally got its downtick today. Hopefully that won't reverse, but everything else, with the exception of the histogram, ticked up, and reversing the bearish cross that we were having on the MACD. Terrible day for the Bears. Terrible. The VIX did really good yesterday, getting above 21, getting above the major price consensus level. And today, look at that red bar. Boom. Bearish engulfing, got below and closed below the major price consensus level, of course. It is still above the lower price consensus level, but if that happens to break, watch out. We're going to go for a retest of the floor. And 14-day RSI moving average still ticking up. Mixed on the stochastics, down on the CCI, down on the RSI, down on the histogram, and slightly up on the MACD. Terrible, terrible showing. At least it's still above 19. I mean, if it had taken out the lower price consensus level all in one go, wow, that would have been so bad. Beyond that, we were noting the other last couple of videos that getting up into the bar is supposed to offer resistance. Certainly it has, and kicked it right out. So, looking at this chart, not totally discouraged, because it should have some problems going into this cloud. But man, what a smackdown. TNA. Yep, we were enjoying the weakness in this one, and fortunately it's not a bullish engulfing, but boy, that's a impressive move today. Almost 3.5 points. 14-day RSI moving average still ticking down. Up on the CCI, the stochastics, the RSI, the histogram, and sideways on the MACD. We were expecting a retest of the 200-day. We still can get that, but wow, what a mess today was. And looking right along to UUP. We have the flatline long-term moving averages, um, and we were hoping for a move and close above them to go up for a test of the major price consensus level. Of course, that did not happen. It closed below the long-term moving averages. It is a bearish engulfing. We have the 14-day finally turning up. We have the stochastics trying to point down along with the CCI, and but uptick still on the MACD histogram, and the RSI. So this is very mixed. So that's not bad. And FXE, the euro, bullish engulfing, closing above the major price consensus level. Ooh. And 14-day RSI moving average finally today getting a downtick, and hopefully that will not reverse. But we have the stochastics trying to turn around. We have the CCI pointing up. We have the MACD not almost getting the sideways to get a bullish cross, but not quite. So there's that. Slight downtick on the MACD histogram, down on the RSI. Very mixed, just like the dollar. Moving on to GE, try to get a better read on the Dow. And this one, kind of interesting, got below the major price consensus level yesterday, closed below it, gapped above it today, had a nice strong move, but still kind of a sideways little chop here. 14-day RSI moving average still ticking down, stochastics looping around, CCI pointing up, RSI pointing up, MACD going sideways, MACD histogram pointing up. It's going to have to break the upper price consensus level and make a new high to really do some damage to the 14-day RSI moving average. But until it breaks this chop one way or another, kind of iffy. Now getting to the long-term bar, we're supposed to have problems. We got close to it yesterday, almost kissed it, and we're bouncing away from it today. So that's not overly unexpected, and there is supposed to be some problems in here. But wow, today was just one of those days. How about a look at Apple, NASDAQ's little darling? We had that nice bearish engulfing yesterday. It did gap down, and very strong on the day, closing above 500 once again. We still have that downtick to resolve. We'll have 3 more days after today to see if that works itself out. And the indicators are saying some mixed things. Down on the CCI, side on the RSI, very high. Down on the MACD histogram, sideways on the MACD itself. Stochastics pointing down, 14-day RSI moving average, clicking sideways. So you could say that there is the potential for further down movement on Apple, but we're going to have to wait and see. XLF, the financials. This one also looked promising last night. Now it's a bullish engulfing. And we have the 14-day RSI moving average ticking down, stochastics up, CCI up, RSI up, sideways on the MACD, and sideways on the MACD histogram. Yep, if there was a time that they needed to save it, it was after last night, and they certainly did. So congratulations to the bulls. Amazing reversal. And should be noted that yep, just like on we were talking about last night, wanting to close below all of the short-term moving averages, it did not occur. So that's one of the things that we were hoping for, looking for, waiting for, and across the board denied. GLD, second VIX. Yep, look, big gap down. It was positive throughout the day, but 14-day ticking down, stochastics ticking up, RSI down, CCI down, MACD down, MACD histogram slightly down, even though we had a nice green candle. And I think that this is also a demonstration of the push-pull effect that we've talked about many, many times. Fear decreasing, causing gold to drop, and then the dollar decreasing, causing it to rise. So very, very interesting. Just waiting to see what happens with fear. I do think that it will return. Who knows, maybe we're going to have another little mini leg and then finally get what should be happening right now. But, the market does what it wants to until it doesn't. And that's just the ugly truth. SLV, same thing. Gap down and march up the entire day. 14-day ticking down, stochastics up, down on CCI, down on RSI, down on MACD, down on the MACD histogram. And that's about it. It's just the same story everywhere tonight with the movement of the markets, and there just isn't too much to go into beyond that. Waiting for the next move, and with SPX making a new high, that is very positive. Yet to be seen on the Dow, and also a new high on the NASDAQ. Duh. So, which all things considered, looking at the VIX, some of the major indexes having new highs, multi-year highs, and the VIX is still away from its floor. That's very interesting to me. But that's it. As always, all investing decisions are your own. This chart and video are for entertainment, educational, and consumption of time purposes only. Thank you.